I got involved in this project after I was approached by Michael Sugru. Anybody knows Michael? He's a very persuasive man, and Michael would have approached me with the concept and the fact that himself and a number of his colleagues, the consultants in the hospital, were looking at an idea which involved attracting really funding into the hospital. And they had a project which involved NUIG, the National University of Ireland in Galway, providing €2 million of funding for a building which would be a centre for medical education, medical research, and bringing medical students for the first time ever into the as part of their education in Galway into Letterkenny. And Michael and his colleagues were very enthusiastic, and they had a vision of what they would like to see delivered in Letterkenny, and they felt this was very important to the future of the hospital and to the future of retaining key services and retaining a viable hospital in Donegal. And they looked to me as somebody who would come in from a business perspective and would help the trust get set up, and would put some structures and some governance in place which would help them to go ahead and realise their very ambitious goals about raising €2 million. And I came on board because I felt that I could offer something to the people who were there, and how we could harness their enthusiasm with a bit of structure and some planning. So I'm also obviously I work here in Primerica, and I think it's critical to employers like ourselves that we have a viable hospital, that we have a health service in the region that people feel is accessible, and that we're not trying to attract employees and people to work and live in Letterkenny, and we're saying to them, your nearest hospital is many hundreds of miles away. It's an important decision that people consider when they're locating, when they're deciding where to work, so, and where they're going to raise their family. So it fits in well with, I suppose, the organisation I work for, Prudential Primerica. They are very much, they would encourage people to get involved with their communities, to use their skills, their business skills, outside of work where possible, to the betterment of the places where we live. So it fitted in very much with my own organisation's philosophy, and it's I suppose I saw it as a project hopefully where I can help the people who really have the vision and who have great enthusiasm around making sure that the hospital in Letterkenny is a hospital that we can all be proud of for many years to come. The project is, and when we look at bringing in 40 or so, medical students in, it's a big boost to the region. It brings people into Donegal to live and work in Donegal, and I'm certain, as I sit here today, that many of these people will look back at their time spent in Letterkenny very fondly, and will start to think, maybe whenever I settle down or whenever I look for a permanent job, there's a place I would like to go back to. And we see it time and time again with people from different parts of Ireland who've been to the Letterkenny Institute of Technology or who have worked in Donegal in different jobs. They will often come back once they've lived and they've worked here. And I think having this medical education and having a place in the hospital where medical education is attractive, I think it will help alleviate many of the challenges that hospitals have in terms of attracting the skills they need, and we see hospitals going all over the world trying to interview and trying to attract people in. And I think if we can bring our own Irish students through the system and make them feel that this is a place that can offer them good opportunities and a good place to live, then it certainly is a huge economic value to the county.
That's perfect. Lovely.
For our employees here in Primerica, they take a lot of different, I suppose, factors into consideration when they decide where they're going to locate, where they're going to work, where they're going to bring up a family. And certainly, I think a hospital and a good hospital with a good reputation is a key consideration in terms of people deciding where they're going to locate, and especially professionals who've got choices around where they want to live, where they want to bring up their family, where they want to develop their careers. And I think if we were saying to people come into Letterkenny, and your nearest hospital is in Sligo, your nearest hospital in Galway, it's a they'll really feel they're moving to a very remote part of the country. So it is important to the economic well-being from a number of perspectives. It's the hospital generates its own. It's a large employer. It buys a lot of local supplies, etc. So it makes a great contribution to the economy in that way. But also, I think it acts as a magnet to people who make decisions about where they want to live. And I think from a Primerica, from a large employer's perspective, or from any type of employer's perspective, it is attractive to have a large functioning hospital with modern facilities in your area. I think it is important. The project, I suppose it is a two-phase effort. The project, in terms of, and we have to look at that in terms of how we attract donors. The project already has 2 million pledged from National University of Ireland in Galway, and that is going to provide some of the facilities for medical education, medical research. And when we looked at other hospitals such as Waterford and I suppose where Michael Subra would have experience in Sydney in Australia, we realised that in order for the facility to be really a facility that can meet the needs of the allied professionals, of the nursing, of the larger allied medical staff, that we needed a facility that really would meet the needs going forward. That it wasn't just an area that had a few study rooms dedicated towards medical students, that we needed a larger area which included an auditorium for education, for people training, for conferences, and that we had research areas, and we have lab rooms, and we have some rooms. It really is a facility that showpieces Letterkenny, and as I say, is important to attracting the right type of skills into the hospital. And we believe that there's a lot of people from this area who have very good memories of, if you can have good memories of spending time in a hospital, but they certainly felt that they were well looked after, that the hospital looked after maybe their parents and grandparents before. So we very much decided that this is a project which would reach out to the diaspora, people who have connections with County Donegal, and would see some of the I suppose the struggles a county like Donegal has. We have got the Atlantic Ocean to one side, we've got the border with Northern Ireland to the other side. We have a small connection, tenuous connection to the Republic of Ireland, if you, in terms of physical connection with us, and that people would see that if that area, and that area sitting up on the northwest, kind of that isolation has always been felt. And certainly it would be reinforced if we were going to face a situation where the hospital is downgraded, or the hospital becomes a very small part of other hospitals which are many hundreds of miles away. So I think people can relate to, and we felt that people could relate to the importance of a hospital in Letterkenny, the hospital for Donegal, and doing things now that are proactively will secure the future of that hospital for many years to come. Philanthropists and donors are not given money because there's something in it for them. They're given money because they want to make a difference, and they want to make a contribution to something that they feel is important. And in terms of, I think what we're saying to people from Donegal, or who have background in Donegal, here is something you'll be doing that will help ensure that the area and the region remains attractive for people to live in, to work in, for many years to come. So it's something that's, and people from this area, a lot of people have a strong connection to the area. Many people go away for a time and they're always looking to come back. Other people would have very happy memories. Other people would have family who are living here, who maybe have lived here, and they would feel that special connection to the area. So I think in terms of what's in it for people, or for potential philanthropists or donors, I think what's in it for them is a sense of contributing to the future of the county, and contributing towards ensuring that the county remains a viable place for people to live, work and raise families. Hugh Green was our first donor, and Hugh came forward with 200,000, which really gave us the encouragement to really drive on with this effort. I had the privilege of meeting Hugh the last time he visited Donegal. He was an inspirational figure to meet, and we got a chance to sit down and have coffee with him and do a tour of the hospital. And Hugh really is, I suppose, he epitomises and he is the embodiment of everything we would like to see in a donor. He's somebody who left here at a very young age, maybe 17, but he still retained a great love for the area. He retained a desire to do something positive for the area to ensure that maybe other young people like him don't have to leave the area, and the people who decide to live here, that there are the facilities here that they need to to live with a decent standard of living. So I would, may Hugh rest in peace, and I like sympathy to his family. I just think I was privileged to have met him, and his initial donation to our efforts. I certainly hope that it would be I suppose a real tribute to Hugh if we could build on what he committed to, and what he saw was a viable project and an important project to the area. And this was somebody, I say, who'd spent most of his life on the other side of the world, but yet felt that it was important that this academy and this trust could get up and running in terms of helping to secure the future of the hospital in Letterkenny and secure the future of medical education, medical research.